Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Scotty Mays and Mike Shea join us in the studio to answer some of life's important questions, like why do rats eat pizza and what does a whole shell look like? If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right. Thank you, Scotty, because we opened up with that. Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Life Radio Show.
Why am I sweating?
We are off to a running start. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with my two fabulous guests that are going to be with me for the next 2 hours, unless we're shut down earlier. Scotty Mays and Mike Shea. So, see, Scotty was blowing kisses to the mic.
No, I was covering my mouth because I censored myself.
Oh, okay. This
is
good.
So much fun.
Good.
I love it when we're on here together.
This is like part 3.
Something
It's
like
happened
that.
quite a bit this year.
Well,
And it's the first time
nobody
it
else
hasn't
wants to
snowed.
come on anymore. So
Well, nobody else is awake at 7 a.m. when you post the invite.
that's true. Hey, I got to do something. They don't check that page throughout the week. You never know what you're going to miss.
This is true.
You'll miss time on the air on the Life Radio Show. So what's been going on? Scotty, we'll start with you. How have you been? A lot of recovery out there. We said
been
earlier.
very well. Been very busy in the recovery community and doing a lot of speaking, going to some classes, and man, just doing what I do.
There you go.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's a terrible show, but a good advice.
Yeah. Schneider was the man.
They remade that, didn't they? Didn't
Did
they
they?
remake that and stuck it on Netflix?
Probably.
Did they?
I saw it on there, and I thought, there's no way in hell I'm going to watch that.
I'm a little behind on everything.
If it was a rerun of the original, there would be no way in hell I would watch it either.
Yeah.
But, terrible, terrible show.
I know they dropped that new Lost in Space show on Netflix, which I haven't watched yet. but-
It's
Not
very
bad, not bad.
Is it not bad?
The new one is not bad. Now they did a movie a while back.
Oh, I remember the movie with Joey from Friends.
Yeah, that was
Oh
terrible.
boy.
Yeah, that
was so bad.
was awful
They had Gary Oldman, and he still couldn't make it good.
because it had Joey from.
It had Joey from Friends.
What is his
Matt
name?
LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, Matt LeBlanc.
Matt White.
Yeah,
Matt White.
Matt the Whitey.
Matt
That's what- But the remake movie was absolutely awful. But
Yeah.
I did watch the series, and I hope they do another season because it was really good. It was
That's gonna be my
surprisingly
summer.
good.
This is getting caught up on everything I haven't watched in the last few months. I haven't been so busy. I haven't watched that. Haven't finished Punisher yet. I've got a long list. Handmaid's Tale.
I've been watching since school's out. I have some free time every now and then. I've been watching some British TV shows, some newer British
Brushing up
comedy.
on your
With the one, what's the one guy, Greg Davies, which he's pretty funny. He's got some good. He's got a couple of shows that are pretty funny, strange but pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
The problem is a lot of times they'll do one season that's really good, and then they'll come back for a second season with a bunch of different actors, and they're not nearly as good.
That was
Because the first one had, I think Andy Samberg was in the one I watched called Cuckoo.
Yes.
And then the second season and third season were pretty much terrible because he died and his character, it was now
Spoiler
his
alert.
long-lost son. Nobody's going to watch it.
That's true. This is true.
I'm surprised I watched it. But actually, the first season was pretty good. Kind of annoying in parts, but so is everything.
So that's life.
Yeah.
Annoying in
pretty much
parts.
It's annoying in parts. Like, what's not?
Yeah. And by the way, if anybody from the Wright State HVAC department is listening, which you never know because I used to be part of that team, and some of them may still listen, it is hot as hell.
It is toasty in
pretty
here,
warm
dude.
in here.
I thought it was just I was on the verge of spontaneous combustion, so I thought that was
I
a
noticed
warning
you,
sign.
you were glistening,
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to
But
say.
since we're all on the same
yeah.
page, I think it could just be
I
Judgment
thought
Day.
you were-
I thought
thought you were a
it's
little
just because I'm
flushed.
fat.
This may
It's-
be the onset of the rapture.
I'm a fat guy. So
Well, I thought Scotty was a little flush sitting next to you because you guys were,
I give
and
off
you
a lot of
both
heat.
went shirtless tonight, and I really appreciate it. Or
Yeah.
not shirtless, sleeveless.
Sleeveless, yeah.
Not
Oh,
shirtless, thank God. Sleeveless.
This show is dedicated to Dale Blomquist
Hey,
because he loves sleeveless.
Hey, there's
men.
there's still 2 hours left.
Yeah, if it gets any hotter in here, we're going to be butt
yeah,
naked.
cool
by
off
the
yeah,
time
time
this ends.
we'll be pantless by
Yeah.
the end of this show,
Right.
which has happened before when the AC wasn't on the fritz. Just kidding. It's never happened in here. I've never been that fortunate, Scotty.
Man. Where's the first time for everything?
Yeah, but I started a new job recently.
Yeah,
I know
how you...
It's been really good. We actually last week when I was in here, I was in here after my second day of nothing but 8 hours worth of training videos, which is fantastic.
I bet.
But after that, I was actually able to get out in the field and see what it is I'm going to be doing. And so far, totally happy with the decision to switch. Not just the shift, but the job seems. They bought me a new truck, which I can't wait to take that out.
And new people. You
And
mean
new people,
yeah. Right.
Yeah, that hopefully I won't run over with said truck. Because I don't want to damage the truck. They were nice enough to buy it for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad first impression.
Right. Which, I mean, I can make those without a truck. Anyway, Mike, what's been going on with you? I know there's a premiere this Thursday night, which I'm going to have to make sure make sure my wife knows why I'm not coming home till late Thursday night.
Yeah, well, the two of you, along with some of the funniest people in Dayton, helped me make a new short film this year.
Some.
And I showed a shortened like 5-minute version of it at a film festival in South Carolina at my alma mater. And this Thursday at the Neon, we'll be showing the full 20-minute part, the version of it that doesn't have everybody's dialogue cut out.
So that's the version with the that's the R-rated.
It's the
version,
let's go with
yeah.
R-rated. Nah,
For
it's
language.
It's PG-13. There's no F-bombs. There's no nudity.
We'll change that at the theater.
I can change that right now. I can pull my laptop out and change it right now.
Oh, pull your okay.
Can you make my profanity British?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah. Are you wearing an Of Mice and Men T-shirt?
I am.
Or
Nice.
Of Ice and Me?
Because
Because you cut the sleeves off.
Look, man, it's just rolled up a little bit. Just
Oh, okay.
unroll it.
That's better. I was saying Of Ice and Me.
That's the cover band, dude. They are top notch.
That's a Vanilla Ice cover band,
Yeah,
right?
stop it.
Oh, yeah. Word to your mother, actually.
Word to your mother's uncle.
they play Vanilla Ice covers in the style of Mice and Men. So-
Right.
Or Of Mice and Men covers in the style of Vanilla Ice, whichever one's funnier.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
Stuff.
So what
This
would a Vanilla Ice song be in the stile of Mice and Men?
Well, it'd have to be a ripoff of a Queen song, first of all.
Well, yeah,
So-
absolutely. Yeah.
Very nice.
So it'd be like Fat Bottom Rabbits or something like that.
but you just got to add that one extra beat to it, and it makes it a totally different song.
That's
Everybody,
right.
that's the legal precedent now.
Phew.
All right.
All right. Well, that's the show.
That's
Thanks.
the show. All right, we're done.
All right.
Anyway, Monarch, what was your influence? I'm going to get to the real questions since nobody really gives a crap, but we're going to go ahead and ask it.
Well, a lot of it is I work in news media, and so every day I am having to see and hear stories about how bad just the heroin problem had gotten in Dayton,
Right.
and I hadn't been living here long when I first started hearing about that. That's not something that I was hearing about living down south, and it just kind of hit me in a certain way. And then the same year that a lot of those reports started coming out, I mean, they've been coming out before I moved here, obviously, but I also then had a friend back home in South Carolina die of a heroin overdose, and they actually found the guy who sold to her, and he was from Dayton.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I was like, well, that just kind of...
Because we have the best,
Yeah.
worst heroin.
So what I did last year I just did kind of a 5-minute short documentary just kind of exploring how the trafficking gets so bad here in Dayton, the fact that we have 2 major highways that intersect right here in the
The
Miami
crossroads
Valley.
of the United States.
Yep,
Right there.
75 and 70 go north to south and east to west from one end of the country to the other. So I did that, and it went over pretty well. And a lot of people, I'm a big fan of old noir detective mysteries, Humphrey Bogart and stuff like that, and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
See? The dame wasn't talking to me, so I decided to that was kind of part of the influence of the documentary, as well as I created this nameless detective character that was just kind of a through line telling all the stories that I uncovered about people who had died of heroin overdoses.
Oh, so they're based on real.
I changed the names, but the rest of the stories were 100% true. There was a guy who had a workshop, was like a craftsman by trade, and would just shoot up and just work all the time, and it just eventually shot up a little too much and overdose. Was another lady who was an accountant, who was some big shot forensic accountant who she was making a lot of money and was blowing it on heroin, and it's people you wouldn't expect.
Right.
I could have easily told stories about people who were born and grew up in the projects and things like that, but everybody hears those all the time. I wanted to tell stories for people who you'd see them walking down the street and never think twice anything about them, but those are the ones who they think, oh well, they think they're in a higher place or have some kind of ego or some crap like that, and think, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I'm smarter than that. Well, it's
it doesn't usually work that way.
I always like to say yet.
Yeah.
And that stands for you're eligible too.
Exactly.
So
that was that. And so with this film, Monarch I've taken that same detective character, and whereas with the previous film from last year, which was 95% true, this one's 95% false. It's a completely made up story.
Not false,
but
fictional.
Yeah,
fictional.
It's a completely made up story.
Because fiction is not lies.
It's true. It's just.
I'll
let you know when I find a better word.
Right.
So it's more 95. It's 95% fictional. I mean, there were influences obviously from other stories I'd heard. Some of the information that gets shared about Dayton in the film is true because those are actual statistics. Right. But it's a totally original story. It's a complete cheeseball. It's just cheesy because it's noir, and you can get away with that. You can be cheesy with that. But
noir even sounds like a kind of cheese.
It does.
Little camembert noir.
Yeah. But I
like a little wine with your noir.
But I have a lot of friends who even now are either still struggling or are in recovery, and whether it's with heroin or alcohol or other things. And addiction is something that I've never had to live with myself, but a lot of people in my life have. And so it's kind of been this thing I've had to deal with kind of on the fringe throughout most of my life. It's affected me kind of indirectly. And so I kind of wanted to take the time to just focus on this issue as much as I could, and without making things seem hopeless or like, I didn't want to be like, it's totally hopeless, but at the same time I didn't want to be, it's going to be fine. We'll figure it out, because it's not something.
It's an okay kind of hopeless. It's a fine kind of hopeless, but we're hopelessly all right.
It's not hopeless. There's always hope but there's not a light switch you can flip.
Right.
It's not going to be an overnight solution to this kind of problem. It's like most things in life. It's not something you can just, if we just do this one thing, this will fix it forever. That's never going to be the case. And it takes a lot of people like Scotty here or my friend Alicia who have gone through things like that, who now have come out the other side of it and have taken their experiences and are helping others who are going through it right now, who counsel other people and speak with other people about what they've gone through and share their stories. Even someone, again, like Scotty, who shares some of his stories comedically on stage and is able to show that not only can you come out on the other side of it, you can come out on the other side of it and turn it on its head.
Right.
And take some of that power and influence it has away from you. So that was the inspiration behind wanting to make these two films. And my goal with it is just to hope that people can see it. And everybody knows heroin's bad. We all know it. But enough that people will sit there and go like, no, this is something we should really actually be active in doing something about.
Right.
You can just sit there and be like, man, that sure is bad. I wish somebody would do something about that. But it takes a bigger person to say, no, I'm actually going to stand up and do something about it. So that's where that came from.
Here's the spin with that is now heroin's slowly starting to take a back seat.
Yeah.
Now here comes crystal meth.
Crystal meth is making
by the end of the summer,
was...
I'm projecting that it's gonna look like a zombie apocalypse out there. It's gonna be insane.
And then there's the fentanyl thing.
Oh yeah, because there's no heroin in Dayton anymore. It's all fentanyl.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna be lucky to find pure heroin.
Yeah. It's all getting cut with fentanyl, which is really what's been killing people.
Right, because it's
the most.
way.
And dude, what's up with this mic? Did somebody have this mic under their armpit? Because it smells like a dirty armpit. Commercial break. We're gonna have to
to be honest, Scotty, I got here early.
You just
I was a
rubbing up
little
on the
bored.
mic.
He's bored.
I was like, let's see who gets this one, and see if they notice.
I mean, my eyes are watering, dude. And I normally don't suffer from allergies, but
Well, I was playing a show with my old band one time, and the band before us had taken the microphone and unscrewed the mic head and put tuna fish in there and screwed it back on. So on one hand, it's like, why can't I hear myself through this mic? I smell fish.
is my mom here?
Yeah.
Weird.
We'll have to see if there are any disinfectant wipes or something.
I'll
At
deal.
least
the
get
mic.
a different smell on
Dude,
it.
trust me. Back in the day, I smelled way worse. Than,
Oh well, yeah,
than
but
this
you shouldn't have to.
microphone.
You shouldn't have to have.
This
it
is like
right
a
in your-
Febreze
yeah.
moment.
We'll hang an air
compared to that.
freshener from it.
You shouldn't have to have it right in your nostril like that. You know?
Yeah, well.
I like to think I treat my guests better.
Honestly,
than
my
that.
nose is so big, I'm sitting back farther than what it looks like. It's
Oh,
just, yeah.
Okay,
It's,
I'll talk louder then. 'Cause I don't. That's why I couldn't read your shirt well. So.
That's right. Yeah, my nose. Who knows?
Tuna nose. That's, yeah.
Could be worse. You could be just sitting there going, "Oh yeah."
Well, it could be. Now I had everybody just snorted on the air.
Smells like regret.
Yep, it's that kind of radio show.
Oh yeah.
Triggered.
Now it could be out in the lobby. I was having a Greek salad with some really strong onions. Now I pull those off because I can't stand eating them. But it could be, there could be some of it wafted in here and just soaked into just your microphone.
What makes it a Greek salad?
The little Greek guy across the street. He makes it for me. Says, "Here you go," and that's
Shut up,
that's. Well, I don't know if he was a Greek. He might not have been. Actually, it was at Arby's, so it probably was like the furthest from Greek you can get.
Did you get a gyro?
The Euro Greek salad or Greek Euro salad or whatever it is. Yeah,
Arby's is like, they're the posers of the fast food
They
industry.
really are.
pretty much. Yeah.
I tried that barbecue brisket sandwich they've been pushing.
Yeah.
It was the driest sandwich I've ever eaten
Right,
in my
yeah.
life. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, see, I started a ketogenic diet recently, and that's
Oh,
the
really?
meat, no carbs.
Is that how that
lots of
works?
animal fat. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Because any diet that encourages mass consumptions of bacon is on the top list of diets for me to try because I'm already halfway there. I love bacon.
You had me at bacon.
Exactly. It's fantastic.
We should get pantless and eat bacon. I mean, I don't
That
know why
is
we have to
the-
take our pants
that-
off for that.
you
That's
ju-
just a
you
little extra
just-
element I added to it.
You just guessed the whole second hour of this show. How did you know that that's what we were going to do for the second hour?
It's a six.
A six.
Sixth.
It's a six.
It's
is what
a sixth sense. It's a sixth
six
sense.
cents. Yeah. But no, it's so I had to rush here from work. I didn't really rush, but I didn't want to go all the way home and waste all that time and come all the way back here. So I had to stop and get something to eat because I was
So you
starving
cheated.
because I started a diet.
Yeah.
So
Hangry.
so I had to have the Greek Euro salad with some regular roast beef meat on there. So and just throw all the bread stuff away.
Is that what made it the Euro? Doesn't the bread make it the Euro or the sauce? What makes
well,
it the
the-
Euro?
I think it's the
what
sauce.
makes it the sauce is what makes it the,
The
sauce
shaved
is the
leg of lamb?
the shaved leg of lamb or whatever.
I mean,
it
is that
It's
really a leg of lamb?
probably not over there? not at Arby's. It might be a leg of spam. I don't know.
A leg of
Because
spam.
it's at Arby's.
Shaved leg of spam.
Yeah, it's a shaved leg of spam.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
It's not shawarma, but it is shawarmish.
Yeah, shawarma. And the tzatziki sauce.
Tzatziki
that
sauce,
stuff is
yeah.
fantastic.
Tatiki.
You never had the tzatziki
Cucumber sauce?
sauce? A cucumber sauce?
Yeah.
That stuff.
That's basically
I
what
didn't
it
know there
is.
was another name for it. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's the appropriate name for it? Where's my Greek?
Tzatziki.
Ziki
Where's
or
my Greek
tzatziki
friends at
or-
on here?
Tzatziki.
Z-
something
yeah,
like
okay,
that.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Aziki?
There's a Z involved.
Ziki.
Aziki.
Ziki.
Aziki manual sauce? Ezekiel manual sauce?
Well, they're bound to guess it eventually. That's
Yeah.
One of those was right.
One of those was spot on. The rest of them, it doesn't really matter because we got one right, and that was really my goal for the evening. If we get one thing right.
But if we do 2 rights, that still doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah, but if we do 3 rights, that actually makes a left.
Yeah, but
you
then
beat
you're
me
just
to
doing
it.
a circle. You do another right after that, we're just doing circles. So we
Yeah.
can talk in circles the whole night.
We usually do. We got an hour and a half left.
We should probably do that last hour in third person. I think Scotty would really like to do that.
Wait till the last hour.
Okay. All right. I had to practice.
Well, yeah, you got to make sure you can remember how to
Can I do
it.
that? Is my name? What's my name?
You're talking in third person is kind of tough. I don't like doing it. Neither does Don. I think on that note, I'm just going to end the broadcast. No, I think I'm going to find us some music. What kind of music it sounds?
Something that I can do some dips to while we're on break and really get my shoulders jacked for this radio
Potter's
show.
Field it is.
There we go.
But first, I'm going to go ahead and hit the comedy rundown. If I can thumb through all of my pages and get there. Here's this week's comedy rundown. Brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Tonight, the Blue Note Bistro in Miamisburg. Yeah, thank you. There's a good show going on there with Karen Jaffe, I believe Mike Canistero, Matthew David Stanley, somebody else. Cannot remember.
I thought that was next Tuesday.
Great things
no,
coming out of that.
I'm pretty sure that's tonight, actually starting at 8:00. So hurry.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to miss this show, to hurry on over there and see that. I will accept it only if you if you listen to the rebroadcast tomorrow from noon to 2. Anyway, Thursday, May 17th, open mic at the Hookah Bazaar at 958 Patterson Road in Dayton. That show starts at 10 p.m. Sign-ups if you want some stage time are at 9:30. Thursday through Saturday, May 17th through the 19th, Mark Norman is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. I cannot talk tonight. Friday and Saturday, May 18th and 19th, Mitch Burrows is at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in the Oregon District. Sunday, May 20th, the Well-Read Comedy Tour is at Dayton Funny Bone, and Wiley's Sunday Comics is back at Wiley's Comedy Club. That show will start at 8 p.m. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. And don't forget to show some love on Monday nights for open mics at Hannah's at 121 North Ludlow Street in Dayton and Ollie's. Is Ollie's still going on, Mike?
It's still going on. I'm not
Still
running it.
going
But
on?
it's
You're
still
not
going
running
on.
it?
Yeah.
Is it even worthwhile if you're not running it? Yeah, it's still worthwhile. Go to Ollie's on Mondays at 518 Miamisburg Centerville Road. That is it.
Do you have Kenny
going
Loggins?
to Kenny Loggins?
Yeah. We're in the danger zone.
Oh, I thought you meant at the open mic.
The open mic?
He
Yeah,
very
probably
well
would.
could be.
Probably.
Sometimes when your career it kind of hits a lull, you got to hit some mics.
His
and
feet
get
are a
back
little
out
loose.
there. So yes, his feet have been loose for some time. And,
That hurts so
Hey.
bad.
we're going to play a little music, but stick around for more of that. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
They say, see a broad to get that booty yak 'em, leg her down and smack 'em, yak 'em. Cole got to be. Yo, shit.
That's right. We're back on the Life Radio Show talking a little jive.
Jive, take it.
Why not?
I can help with this. I speak jive.
We talked about so many good things off the air we can't talk about on the air.
I know.
But it all went
So
over
sad.
Facebook. But it all went over
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
good.
So all 5 of you that are still hanging out on
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
You want the
tell your
inside
friends.
scoop?
All right.
Well, that's the thing with Facebook Live; they can watch it later.
This is
They
true.
Go back
If
and
you
see
post
what-
Yeah.
it. You don't have to post it.
Oh, I always
That's-
post.
oh,
it.
you
Yeah, what's the
Yeah,
point?
Yeah,
you know?
what's the point
transparency,
of going
man.
live?
You have
But,
to.
yeah. That would be just silly.
Would be.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
It's not like you're charging them money for a live performance.
Right.
Right.
We're comics.
Yeah. Look, I mentioned that in like 4. Oh, now we're up to 6. It's a weird fluctuation going on with that. It's almost like people are in denial. Like, no, I'm not going to watch it. Well, maybe I'll.
They're
no,
a
I'm
little
not going to.
scared, but they're
No,
timid.
but-
They're
right,
timid.
right.
They're just like dipping a toe in to Scotty May's live feed and then going back out, dipping another toe in.
Right.
You know, maybe a penis.
But don't. Yeah.
just a
Maybe.
just
Maybe
a
two.
tip at first.
And here's the thing. Like, I hate feet.
But well,
Just dropping that one in there.
how do you feel about toes, though?
Well, yeah, the toes, no.
Okay, but
No
well,
toes.
the true question is, how do you feel about Christian Bale as Batman?
I think he's an amazing bad man.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over your asthma.
This is Dayton.
Yep,
We are
hold on.
top 3 in pollen. Give me a break.
Yeah, just clear your throat and then answer the question.
Somebody just asked me if this was a Nickelback shirt.
No, it's a
How
Ice
dare
and
you,
Me.
sir? How dare you?
That's Scotty's
Remember that
of Ice
photograph?
and Me shirt.
Oh, nice.
What's that?
Nothing. It was a horrible Nickelback reference.
Oh, okay. Well,
Look at this
I don't
photograph.
think there is anything. There is not any other kind of Nickelback reference. I don't think.
Yeah, they're all horrible.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
He even tried cutting his
Yeah.
hair, and he's still.
Yeah, you hear
Canadian.
Nickelback, it's like,
Yeah.
yep, that's awful. Whether it's just a reference to it or the actual assault on your eardrums.
And now he's married to Avril Lavigne, so they can just go.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, well, I take those for headaches actually. The Advil.
A couple of Avrils.
Yeah, pop a couple of Avrils.
Oof, I don't know.
You won't feel much
That seems
better.
like something you take to get a headache. But
Weird. I
Yeah,
thought she was into
Ad-
Skater Boys. So weird.
Advil Aleve, I think, is the yeah. That's,
So how do you think she picked him up? She's like, "Hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend."
I don't get any of these
Yeah, I'm
references.
sorry, man.
I
I'm
hate
sorry.
that I do. But 10 years in radio will do that to you, I guess.
I've got 3.5, and I don't play crap. So I play
Well, that's
pot- I
getting
play
honest when you're
Pottersfield.
mentioning 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
I wear size 14.
We can't all be Scotty Mays
Wow.
in our frickin' rooster hair.
Some of us have to shop at specialty stores,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah. I had to special order my boots from Red Wing.
My clothing store
Oh, you got
charges
the
by the
whip,
yard.
though.
It's
I
not
got
my
the
fault.
whip. I'm like a duck. It's like 5 inches long, but 6 inches wide. That's
Oh, I'm gonna let that one go.
it's like the kid.
It's like forceps opening up.
Yep, you kind of got to get a start first,
Yeah, right.
or you're never gonna make it. Wow! All right, let's hit some news
Yeah,
stories
Let's do it.
because we got to go somewhere else quick. We'll probably get right back there knowing
Oh,
the news
yeah, we'll
stories
take
I come
long.
up with.
Without a
So.
doubt.
Right turn,
yeah.
Clyde.
Well, here's some news to since we don't have anything interesting to talk about.
Remember Gary Gnu?
I do remember
The
Gary
Gnu's?
Gnu, and on the Gnu's. I can't
Yeah.
remember the show that was
No
on. but
Gnu's is good
Yeah.
Gnu's.
Oh, there you go. So let's do. Man, that's a good reference.
We are old, sir.
We are. Nobody. There's probably 40-year-olds on your Facebook page that don't get that reference.
And they're like, what the hell's a GNU?
Yeah. What the
Pretty
hell?
sure it's pronounced new.
No, it's not.
I don't
It's
think
GNU.
It's GNU.
It's Gary GNU. And here's your GNU.
I said good day.
U.S. Border Patrol agents in Brownsville, Texas, got a real on-the-job surprise last Monday. Agents working near the Rio Grande witnessed 3 individuals trying to enter the country, including one who was carrying a small black duffel bag. The smugglers changed their minds about coming to America. After they saw the agents, they dropped the bag and hoofed it back to Mexico. Apparently, they had a donkey.
I think so. They hoofed it.
Yes. When the officers examined the duffel bag, they were shocked to discover an unconscious male tiger stuffed inside. The tiger, estimated to be around 4 months old, was returned over to Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville. So now they're smuggling tigers.
There's a town called Brownsville?
Yeah,
That's
what I'm taking away from that.
You don't know there's a town called Brownsville, Texas.
In Texas, I wouldn't have picked Texas to have Brownsville.
Yeah, that's why not?
Although when you think,
Have you ever been there?
when you think about it is Texas, they would have like, a specific town for it. I
Yeah,
guess.
we're going to take you to Brownsville.
Yeah.
We're going to take this all the way to Brownsville.
Told me that.
You and your wide foot.
And my wide foot's going to take you to
we made it back.
Brownsville,
We
boy.
made it back. we waited all the way back.
To Brownsville and back. That's what.
We didn't even have to hoof it.
Yep.
Where'd you get a tiger in Mexico?
I don't know.
You've never seen
I
a
don't
Mexican
know.
tiger?
No.
Dude, they're rare.
Yeah, yes, they're very rare.
Yeah.
Apparently small enough to fit in a
Yeah.
duffel bag, unconscious.
It wasn't Tony the
They-
Tiger. It was
yeah.
Tony Manuel.
Que bueno! That one was bad.
Oh, damn. Oh, shame on you, sir.
Yeah, what can they get me for copyright infringement on that?
I don't know if you do it that way. You may be, good. That was actually.
Oh, that's stupid.
What's the off brand of that? They're good enough. They're meh.
Yep. Just eat them.
Flaky.
It's all you can afford. What do you care? A little flaky. We weren't talking about California. We were talking about Texas.
Ah, yes.
A little flaky.
And they're Brownsville.
I'm sure there's a lot of Brownsvilles in California, too.
I'm sure there is.
Oh.
I'm sure there is. That almost sounds racist, but that's not even where we were going.
Well, especially with a K. Well,
Brownsville just sounds like the made-up ass town in like a crappy Stephen King book.
yeah,
It's
literally a crappy.
literally.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's an ass town, so it's Brownsville.
Yep. There's a sinkhole.
Lights
right?
came on. The FCC's here.
Yep.
We're
we are
done.
shut down. It's Brownsville. It's a town. It's a town in Texas. I think there's even a beach. I don't know. There's probably sand. I've
New
not
York
been there.
City.
It's,
What? Oh, wait.
nothing like
Sorry.
getting sand in your Brownsville. Oh, yeah, we're going straight to a story from New York. Some lucky New Yorkers had a celebrity encounter last weekend that can only be described as cheesy. A rodent was seen on New York subway claiming a piece of pizza as his own, though it remains to be seen whether it's the famed pizza rat, because apparently there is a famous New York pizza rat filmed gorging on a slice 3 years ago. 3 years ago, a rat ate a piece of pizza, and now they're crapping themselves about it again.
And I thought Dayton had ridiculous news stories.
Right.
But
I mean, we had zombie raccoons. Or no, that was Youngstown.
Youngstown, yeah.
Yep, there's a movie I saw called Zombievers, but we won't.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The latest pizza rat surfaced on the downtown 6 train tracks at the Lexington Avenue 59th Street station, in case you want to see if he's still there. Michael Carant filmed the encounter for posterity. I was totally shocked, Carant said. Everyone on the platform was in awe and pulled out their phone like they were seeing a UFO. No one seemed super grossed out. Many people acted like it was no big deal, but he just said that everyone was in awe, but many people acted like it was no big deal. Apparently that's a...
And they all got...
You can be in awe and it's no big deal. So it's like, oh.
I mean, it's a rat on a New York subway. I'm sure that's not the first time they've seen one of those.
And they're like,
but it was eating a pizza.
It was eating a pizza.
Yeah.
It's probably the nicest thing a New York rat's ever done on that subway.
Well,
usually they
if
rob
it
you.
would have been a Chicago-style deep dish, they'd have stomped his brains.
This is true. That's
like,
sad.
get out of here with that.
This is true. And instead, he gave them all fleas, and that's how the bubonic plague
Right.
was reborn.
So that's, through pizza.
Through pizza fleas.
Maybe he works at a pizza place, and that was his take home for the day. He's paid in slices of pizza.
Yeah. I think Splinter's fallen on hard times, and he's stealing from the turtles. He's got their leftover pizza.
He's officially getting high on his own supply.
Where's that rat hanging out with those turtles? He's high. He thinks they're ninjas.
Yep, look at them. They're just kind of flopping around. They don't really do anything. The one's got a piece of pizza. Oh.
I mean, he's a turtle and a half shell.
Turtle
They all had half shells, though, correct?
Who did?
What's a whole shell look like?
Well, I don't know. Well, no, it would. That would be two half shells because you'd have to open it up. So it'd be a double half shell. But if you couldn't open it, it'd be a whole shell, and then it would just be something dead inside. That would be a mutation, is what that would be. That would be a rock, Scotty. It's actually.
Well, they were mutant Ninja Turtles.
Shell, pick up a rock.
I'm gonna take a picture of a rock tomorrow and send it to you. Be like, they do exist.
I knew it.
The whole shell.
We're an educational program.
We are.
Scotty.
We are all learning something today.
That's a rock.
I have 5 people that feel a lot better about their life.
Yeah, just imagine if there's anybody listening in.
If there is anybody listening, somebody should be listening to this, actually. I need to remind you, soft pretzels and chocolate sauce. That's probably what you should title this show.
No, the title of this show I just thought of. It's a rock. I was writing it down as you said that.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Triggered.
No, not a rock.
Oh.
A rock.
Oh, a rock.
Like the double
Not
half,
like a rock.
the whole shell.
Oh. Not like Chris Rock.
No, not
and
like
New
Chris
Jack
Rock.
City Rock.
Right, or crack rock. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was subtly hinting around to. I was making all those references and.
Gotcha.
Next story, sir.
The show. This is great.
Moving on. There will
It's
be no
still
more
hot in
discussion
here.
of drugs
Look at
on
your
this
forehead,
show.
dude. It is so sweaty.
Oh, I thought it was just big. I thought I was going bald as we spoke. I kept on getting kicked off the air, and all my hairline just receded all at
project
once.
onto it. It would reflect perfectly.
Yep. All right, no more drug talk.
Or
cannabis is having a skincare.
did you set that up?
No way.
Weed's not a drug, man.
Beauty and wellness products containing cannabidiol, CBD.
Well, so why do you assume I just know these terms, sir? I'm offended.
I didn't say anything. I was
Where
just
is
having
the
trouble
safe space
pronouncing
at Wright State?
Anyway, and possibly THC. And possibly THC are becoming increasingly popular. No crap.
Really? What?
CBD along with THC, which is all kinds of
There's
letters.
so many different strands of it, man. It's not all addictive. It just depends on what you get.
Okay.
Yeah,
I went to college with so many guys like that.
Right.
CBD and THC are the two most common cannabinoids found in cannabis, a.k.a. marijuana, because the article assumed if you were reading about cannabis, you wouldn't know what marijuana was. But they have different effects. CBD is touted as having therapeutic and stress-relieving benefits, while THC is responsible for the, quote, high associated with marijuana use. Additionally, CBD is legal in many states, while THC is not. That's a crime. It should be the other way around, because, trust me, when you're high, you're relaxed.
The CBD oil, though, the oils are actually medicinally benefiting numerous things. So, there's such a gray area with that because I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
We won't talk about it anymore. But you can find cannabis products for a relaxing bath
on 3rd Street.
Yes, exactly, because nothing is more relaxing than bathing high. For soothing sore muscles or for healing chapped lips. They've even found a fan in Olivia Wilde who raved about the topical CBD lotion by Lord Jones in the 2017 New York Times profile. And celebrity stylist Carla Welch says she tells her clients like Wilde, Katy Perry, and Sarah Paulson, whoever that is, to use it on their feet for red carpet events. Get your feet high. You'll just float across the carpet.
Float across the red carpet.
Yes, did you want to float in, make
You
an
need
entrance?
to glide in this gown.
This guy's name, Dr. Samer Jaber.
Of course it is.
Jaber.
Samer Jaber of Washington Square Dermatology told Huffington Post that while the enthusiasm for cannabinoids and skincare is definitely growing, the science behind cannabis and cannabinoids for skin health is sparse. We got to test a little more.
Saber Jaber sounds
Saber,
like he sounds like the pastor I met at a church
I'm
last
Dr.
Monday.
Saber Jamer. Man.
His cousin's a Swedish
Saber,
chef.
maybe it was Saber Jammer.
Saber.
That's like a porn star name if I ever heard one.
Maybe it's Mama Jamma.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a
Mama
bad,
Jamma.
he's a bad Mama Jamma.
Yep, Dr. Mama Jamma's here with the weed. Man, this is a good show. This is a good show, isn't it, guys?
Oh, man. Fantastic.
Talk about
I'm down to 3 viewers now. We are winning.
Man, that's 3 more than I have listeners.
Well,
Man, okay. This is we're going to go with a sports story.
ooh, I like
Yes,
sports.
you like sports?
All
Do
right.
you like hockey?
I love hockey.
All right.
sports
This is
ball.
an NHL story.
Yes.
Apparently, the Tampa Bay Lightning defeated the Boston Bruins to head to the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals, and nobody licked anybody. That was
God.
that was not a guarantee. Bruins left wing Brad Marchand, or Marchand, I guess it depends
It's,
on where you're from.
Marchand.
Marchand. Mm-hmm. Oh well, aren't we fancy? Brad Marchand licked opposing players twice this postseason.
Yeah,
Because why not?
I can't stand him.
Marchand is famously antagonistic and annoying, earning the official title of the biggest pest in the NHL,
He
a
is.
label his team has embraced. But his new strategy earned some ire off the ice, and the National Hockey League stepped in to order Marchand to knock it off.
He's probably
No
my least
more
favorite
licking.
hockey player.
No, licky.
Well, it's ice hockey. You might lick the wrong thing, and your tongue will get stuck to it. And nobody wants to separate hockey players while their tongues are stuck to each other. That's another rumor I've heard.
Just got to play the
about
rest of
hockey
the game
players.
like that.
Yep. Hello.
You two are going to learn to get along.
What's your name? Samajama.
Yeah, Dr. Mama Jim. I need a drink. All I got's water.
Let's give some tickets away.
Yes.
Let's do that. What are the tickets? Who you got there? What do you got there?
These tickets will be for Friday, May 25th at 8 p.m. at Wiley's Comedy Joint. It's the Cry for Help tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Del Blumquist and the Cry for Help
Absolutely.
tour. That's always
Yeah,
a good show.
You have featuring Travis Charles, Ransom Carr, Dan Dean, what?
Dan Dean.
DD,
All
Double
right.
D, Del Blumquist, Bloomquist, Bloomquist,
Marchand.
Nick Taylor. Oh, and then this one guy, Scotty Mays. He's all right.
Yes,
He's all right.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Nick Taylor. Yeah.
But you know, if
I heard he's got
anybody-
weird hair.
Yeah.
If anybody listening calls 937-775-5555, I'll hook you up with a pair of tickets.
Yes, and we'll put you straight on the air.
Straight
So if
on the
you call
air.
up cussing a bunch, we won't. But yeah, I just encourage that.
Anybody
didn't
but Wakanda.
I? Well, no, I'd love to hear from.
I'm
the
not
King,
giving her
'cause
tickets.
Huh?
I'm not going to give her any tickets.
No, the king of Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving him
LaWanda.
tickets. Not.
Or LaFonda.
It's so hot in here that I'm starting to get dehydrated.
I
I might be on the verge of heat
do you
stroke.
need a water?
I actually have one. I just haven't
Okay.
up. I'll take that one.
Well, no.
Yeah, I like to hoard things.
You can hoard the empty bottles
got
over
it.
there if you want. We'll throw them out after you leave.
So if nobody calls, then don't. If nobody calls in for these tickets, don't say I need to get to one of your shows. Here's your opportunity.
Right, and if nobody calls in for these tickets, Scotty's going to have to go see himself perform.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Yes, it's. Yeah, if there'll be just chairs with mirrors in them, that would
dude,
be.
Don't give away the secret.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you've ever watched TBTV with Brandon Barry and Tyler Wise, there's one episode where I'm on stage telling some awful jokes, and the whole audience is empty except for me sitting in the audience watching myself and laughing hysterically. It's so much fun.
They just recorded one of his dreams. That's
Yes,
all they did.
That's pretty much it. That is a recurring dream. That I perform for no one except myself. Isn't that why we're all doing it?
Validation.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because we want to, we think we're way funnier than the audience. Yeah, it's definitely
not for the chicks.
Because you wouldn't be doing comedy. Aren't a lot of comedy groupies out there that I've found.
No. Chuckle sluts,
okay,
few and
Scotty,
far
maybe
between.
there are. I haven't found any. Is what I'm saying.
There's just comedy clickies.
Yeah, clickies, comedy clickies. Just so comedy clicky. We'll do one more news story.
Let's do it. Hope this one's out of Florida. You know, you haven't done a Florida story in a while.
I have not, but
yeah,
hey.
What's Florida man been up to?
But hey, Paris.
There's a Disney World over there. There's a Disney.
Visitors at a leading contemporary art museum in Paris didn't leave only their cloaks in the cloakroom. They left all their clothes.
And their
the Palais de Tokyo, which is in not Tokyo, is the Palais de Tokyo Museum, opened its doors to nudists for a very special visit Saturday. It's part of a growing effort by France's tiny nudist community, which I bet they were angry when they heard that. What they wrote? What? It's part of a growing effort by France's tiny nudist community to encourage acceptance of clothes-free activities after a nudist restaurant and nudist park opened in the French capital. The museum visit was arranged before regular opening hours so the nudists wouldn't mingle with other visitors because, they want their money, but they're still ashamed of them. They viewed an exhibit of contemporary works focused on, quote, discord. Organizers said they're hoping to attract younger members. No kidding.
Oh,
why wouldn't you? They're hoping to attract younger members and get rid of the younger members and get rid of the complexes around their nudist practices, which they don't want, quote, limited to beaches, summertime, or a certain category of the population, like nudists, I guess.
How do you say these younger members are touching my leg in French?
Oui, oui.
Well, what?
Touched by oui, oui.
What if tiny nudist community is actually? What if they're all like nudist little people, and that's just the name of it?
That could be.
What if they're Smurfs?
Yeah, they were pretty much nudists.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Just those little. They wore their underwear.
I mean, Smurfette was topless. Her hair covered
each
her
Smurf
chest,
had
right?
2 pairs of underwear, one for their crotch, one for their head.
Right.
Because that's basically all they...
Smurfs are really into nipples, so they just didn't wear
on
shirts.
top, when their hat wore a hole in it, they just switched it to underwear.
It's like the Snorks.
They didn't wear anything on their head. They
just kept snorking.
That's where they kept their
snorkers.
That's where they kept their snickle.
So that's where Avatar got it from.
No, I didn't say their snipples.
You think Inch High Private Eye hung out with this?
What the nudists do in the wintertime?
Shrink. That's when they become a tiny nudist community. They shrink and they move quickly, I would say, from one house to the next.
They're like, look at his outie belly button. That is adorable.
Yeah, that's disgusting. He should wear a belt over there.
Yeah, at least the Cabbage Patch Kids had shirts.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I so needed this. I don't care if y'all hate this, but I'm loving it. I'm talking to the 3 people that are watching.
Oh, well, if they're still watching, they probably don't hate it.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they probably do.
They're gluttons for
The
punishment.
sound's
spoil
probably
myself.
not even on. They're just, now we're down to 1.
Oh, you gonna call us out, Scotty? Screw you. We're out of here.
Just remember, it's 937-775-5555.
Nobody wants any tickets.
Yeah.
You can't even give them away, dude. That is so sad.
Man, that's I love my life. Should we take a break then, since nobody else gives a crap?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, why not?
We'll take a break. We'll recoup. We'll try to cool off a little bit.
The
I'm gonna
next hour
probably
will be
run
full of
laps or
puns.
something.
Just all
Full
puns.
of punks?
And puns.
Puns.
Punks
All
and
right.
puns.
The next is Pun Hour on the Life radio show.
All right.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a little break.
Stroke that button, Don.
I'm going to stroke this button. We are going to. We'll be back shortly. Enjoy a long bunch of commercials.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM with a repeat broadcast on Wednesdays from noon to 2, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.